So today we will see the solved question paper of May 2018 of 2016 scheme. Define biomedical waste. Name the different type of biomedical waste. Discuss in detail the methods of disposal of hospital waste with special reference to biomedical waste. It's already discussed in 2020 November 2010 scheme question paper. So we can go to the short essays. The first one is describe the clinical features and laboratory diagnosis. Laboratory diagnosis already discussed. The clinical features are incubation period is about usually 7 to 14 days and appears to be related to the dose of infection. The clinical course may vary from mild undifferentiated pyrexia to a rapidly fatal fulminating disease. The onset is usually gradual and early symptoms are often vague like headache, malaise, anorexia, a clotted tongue and an abdominal discomfort with either constipation or diarrhea. Diarrhea is uncommon and early in the illness many patients complain of constipation. The physical signs include relative bradycardia at the height of the fever, hepatomegaly, splenomegaly and often rashes of raw spots found on the front of the chest during the second or third week and fade on pressure. Describe the clinical features and laboratory diagnosis of falciparum malaria. The clinical features, the falciparum malaria produced by the rupture of synod and destruction of erythrocyte. The most of the patients experience fever, chills, headache, sweating, dizziness, malaise, muscle pain, abdominal pain, nausea, vomiting, mild diarrhea and dry cough are also generally associated. High heart rate, jaundice, pallor, orthostatic hypotension, enlarged liver and enlarged spleen are all diagnosed. Sometimes it leads to obstruction of the microcirculation and result in dysfunction of multiple organs such as brain and cerebral malaria. Laboratory diagnosis, the microscopic examination of blood films. The thick and thin blood smear study is the gold standard method of malaria diagnosis. This procedure follows the collection of peripheral blood, staining of smear with Jebsier stain and examination of red blood cells for malaria parasite under microscope. Immunological test, immunofluorescent antibody test IF18. The antigen consists of infected blood bound to a 12-spot microscope slide. A drop of diluted washed infected red blood cells placed on each spot and then allowed to dry. It is then incubated with the serial solutions dilutions of test serum followed by solutions of anti-human immunoglobulin labeled with the fluorescent isothioate which contains Evans blue as a counterstain. When the slides are dry, they are examined by fluorescence microscopy. ELISA, molecular techniques polymerase chain reactions. Hot air oven. Next short notice, hot air oven is already discussed. Swine flu, laboratory diagnosis of swine flu infection that also already have been discussed. Candida albicans, it also discussed in 2020 question paper. Methicillin MRSA. Then describe the principle and application of agglutination. Agglutination is the antigen antibody in which particular antigen combines with its antibody in the presence of electrolytes, suspend temperature and pH resulting in the formation of visible clumping of the particle. It occurs optimally when antigens and antibodies react in equivalent proportions. This reaction is analogous to the precipitation reaction in that antibodies act as a bridge to form lattice network of antibodies and the cells that carry antigen on their surface. Because of cells are so much larger than the soluble antigen, the result is more visible when the cells aggregate into clumps. The principle, agglutination is the development of antigen-antibody complexes in the form of particle or clumps due to interaction between insoluble form of antigens. Application, it is used in the cross-matching and grouping of the blood, identification of bacteria like example serotyping of Vibrio cholerae, serotyping of Salmonella typhi and paratyphi, serological diagnosis of various diseases, example rapid plasma antigen test for syphilis, anti-cephalolysin O, that is ASO test for rheumatic fever, detection of unknown antigen in various clinical specimens like detection of VI antigen for Salmonella typhi in the UAE. Answer briefly, congenital syphilis. Congenital syphilis is the chronic infection caused by the Treponema pallidum acquired by the fetus in the uterus before birth. Symptoms of this disease may not become apparent until several weeks or months after birth, and in some cases it may take years to appear. Congenital syphilis is passed on a child from the mother who acquired disease prior or to or during the pregnancy. Symptoms may include inflammation, hardening of umbilical cord, rash, fever, low birth weight, high levels of cholesterol at birth, aseptic meningitis, anemia, monocytosis, enlarged liver and spleen, jaundice, shedding of the skin affecting palms and soles, convulsions, mental retardation, periostitis, rhinitis, with infectious nasal discharge, hair loss, inflammation of eyes, iris, and pneumonia. Congenital syphilis is preventable. The most effective treatment for syphilis is the mother, as well as congenital syphilis in the infant is penicillin. In some cases, other antibiotics may be used. Interstitial keratitis may be treated with corticosteroid drugs and atropine drops. Ophthalmologist should be consulted. Dermatophytes. Dermatophytosis, also known as ringworm, is a fungal infection of the skin. Typically, it results in red, itchy, scaly, circular rash. Hair loss may occur, and the symptoms begin 4 to 14 days after the exposure. Multiple areas can be affected at a given time. Fungi thrive in moist, warm areas such as locker rooms, tanning beds, swimming pools, and skin folds. Accordingly, those that cause dermatophytosis may spread by using exercise machines that have not been disinfected after use or by sharing towels, clothing, footwear, or hairbrushes. Prevention. Advice often given includes avoid sharing of clothing, sports equipment, towels or sheets. Wash clothes in hot water with fungicidal soap after suspected exposure to ringworm. Avoid walking barefoot. Wear appropriate protective shoes in locker rooms and sandals at the beach. Avoid touching pets with bad spot as they are often carriers of the fungus. Prophylaxis of diphtheria is already discussed. Differentiate between sterilization and disinfection. In this, the number of harmful microbes minimized to negligible level. It kills only vegetative cells and not the spore. Wounds are disinfected with agents like hydrogen peroxide or rubbing alcohol. Disinfection only reduces the effect of microbes. Chemical methods are used for disinfection. Phenol, alcohol, chlorine, iodine are some of the disinfecting agents. It's only adequate cleanliness used in daily life. For example, pasteurization, disinfecting urines, etc. Sterilization otherwise is a medium is made completely free of all microbes. It kills both vegetative cells and spore. Wounds cannot be sterilized as they kill surrounding healthy cells. The sterilization completely rids microbes from the surface. Combination of heat, radiation and high pressure chemical and physical methods are used for sterilization. High temperatures, steam radiation, filtration are some of the sterilization. It is extreme cleanness used primarily for medical and research purpose. Active and passive immunity, it's also already have been discussed. Oral polio, injectable polio vaccine also have been discussed. Thank you.